estate regulator bill has been introduced in the Rajya Sabha, a big achievement for the government, but not so for the industry. The real estate sector appears to be upset with most of the key provisions of the bill, and the industry players are now planning to make a representation before the Parliamentary Standing Committee. Oinitam has the story.
Leave to introduce the Real Estate Regulation and Development Bill 2013 to establish the Real Estate Regulatory Authority for regulation and promotion of the real estate sector and to ensure sale of plots, apartments or building, as the case may be, in an efficient and transparent manner, and to protect the interest of consumers in the real estate sector.
Definitely a milestone achieved by the Housing Minister Raheja. But this could be the beginning of a tumultuous journey for the Housing Minister and the much-awaited Real Estate Regulator Bill, as the most significant stakeholder in the entire process, the real estate developers are an unhappy lot with strong opposition to most provisions of the bill. They are all set to air their grievances and make their voices heard before the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Urban Development under Sharad Yadav, who will now be deliberating on the provisions of the bill, hoping to get changes done.
Want regulator. However, the regulator in current form only focuses consumer. Now our question is, if there is a consumer focus, then it should be consumer court which should be given more teeth, and fast track courts can be developed. Now the bill in its present form only deals with consumer. Now this doesn't mean it's a regulator. It's more of a consumer redressal forum with certain...
Some of the provisions which the developer fraternity thinks are unjustified include: advertisements and construction can start only after getting all statutory clearances. Without these clearances, developers cannot go for pre-launches and raise money. They have to maintain separate accounts for each project, and above all, penalizing the developer for misleading ads or missing timelines, not just by asking them to pay 10% of the total project cost, but in case of repeating the offence, even putting him behind bars.
Putting a lot of onus onto the developer in being able to deliver it on time. But a lot of that in the time regulation is also the approval process. Now, if you are not going to put any onus or responsibility on the approving authority, and you say to the Mr. Developer, you have to deliver it in this time, but by the way, we're not going to take the responsibility of the approving authority to approve it within a certain period of time, I think it will be very difficult for the developer to be able to do the project and commit it within the time frame.
Other key developers too have voiced their reservations against the bill.
Any bill, all the stakeholders should be a party to the bill, and they also should be accountable and responsible to give me all the permission. Then only this bill can function.
So what does the industry want? A comprehensive regulator regulating all stakeholders, including the government agencies. The regulator should act as a bridge between the industry and the policy maker and facilitate finances, technology and construction in the sector.
If there is regulation, you should try to create atmosphere for transparency also from government side. Just by regulating and putting more regulation, by putting more controls, what are we trying to achieve other than throttling the industry?
The government's intent is clear, and introducing the bill in the upper house proves this. But the developer community's resolve and intent is also very clear: a balanced regulator. They think the bill in its present form is completely skewed and will make the already expensive housing sector even more costlier. But for the government, it could be a tough job to make both the developer and the consumer happy. In New Delhi, Oinitam Sinha, NDTV.